at that. There's so many of them. Try this, the Megadog X Salt Water. Just throw it right there. Okay. This feels like a small stinger. These things are alright, but okay, that's fine. Oh, that's a fish. What's the water though? Tastes like a Bora. That's a Bora. There's a lot of... There's so many big fish here, but no big fish. Surprisingly. Oh, the Bora got me excited. Oh, keep it. Good. A little bit closer. Okay. Oh, my lure came off. It was a nice fish. Very nice Kurodai here. Let's release this guy. Oh no, okay. So much power. Right. That was a good fish. Nice. Oh, okay. Needs to be some action over here too. I'm getting super wet right now. Hopefully my mic is okay. Again. Oh, fuck. My drag is too light. There's probably there's probably a school of them there. Oh. No sea bass, but I wonder what it was. See that citrus belt. Sounds like some. Water's getting too high. I'm getting wet. These waves. Oh, that's another one. Okay, there's fish here. The question is it the fish I want? hitting it on the fall. That's not really the fall. Pretty sure. We should have kept that one. That one looked pretty good, actually. The next one. I'll capture, but let's keep the next one. Because I think the ocean is bringing in some fish here. Oh, yeah. Vamos assim? Woo! Sea bass. Yes. Whew. Finally. Yatta. Okay. Sea bass. Oh. Okay. Let's release this guy too. See you. Thank you very much. Okay, let's get back to it. There's a lot of right there. That's more right here. Oh. Oh. Let's see if I can throw it over here. Oops. Oh, that's not good. This is a boy. Is it? See that? Sorry, I don't see what it is. I don't know what it is. I want to see this. It's just like a snag bora. Mullet. Or it's a snag something. Oh, looks like the kurodai actually. Yeah. Oh, maybe hit. It's a big one though. There's quite a few of these today. Alright, let's release this guy. This guy's pretty fat. Should I release this guy? Should I bring him home? Yeah, let's release him. Okay, see you later. Thank you.